Good Monday morning. It's February 8th, 2021. I'm Guy McPherson of Nature Bats Last, which you can find at guymcpherson.com. I'm going to provide a few headlines this morning that date back to shortly after the market closed on Friday. So starting with one of those from Barrons, stocks are setting records because the bull thesis is coming together. And that sounds like a bunch of bull to me. Really? Commentary already this morning? And negative, no less? More likely, from Vox, America's deeply unequal economic recovery explained in 7 charts. Yes, that makes a lot more sense to me than anything resembling a bull market. And speaking of bull, from Bloomberg Green, I didn't even know Bloomberg had a section called Green, and this is what qualifies. Big Oil gets to teach climate science in American classrooms. The subhead, fossil fuel companies are spending big money to make sure their message reaches kids. Science teachers are doing their best to make sure they learn the facts. And here's the lead. If you were an elementary school student in Oklahoma, you might meet Petro Pete, a cartoon child outfitted in the overalls and hard hat of an oil rig worker. Through Pete, you might learn things like having no petroleum is like a nightmare. Meanwhile, Pete's trusty blue dog, Repeat, assures the animal kingdom that, quote, the humans learned their lesson and now they won't leave behind a mess when they drill for oil, end quote. Who would you have to thank for these important academic messages? Oklahoma Oil and Natural Gas, a fossil fuel industry trade group. That's who decides what your children are learning in schools. Ain't that America? Something to see. From yesterday, Grantham calls epic bubble, putting 70 stocks under the valuation microscope. And from this morning, U.S. stock futures rise following Wall Street's best week since November. That's from CNBC. And the Wall Street Journal spin on it is stock futures rise, putting S&P 500 on course for new record. And switching to the other currency, from Bloomberg, Bitcoin finds new momentum with prices approaching $40,000. And in an unsurprising additional headline from CNBC, Tesla buys $1.5 billion in Bitcoin and plans to start accepting it as payment for products. One of the bullet points, CEO Elon Musk has been credited for raising the prices of cryptocurrencies, including Bitcoin, through his messages on Twitter. Think the billionaires don't have some influence over what happens in this country? Think again. I'd say it's probably their words and their actions are more important than most of us know. Exactly. And as expected from the futures markets, the stock markets in the United States are blasting up at the open. The Dow Jones leading the way, up nearly 200 points. I can only imagine what you have to say about that.
Oh, good Lord.
Exactly.